And Captain Master, guys, we are finally back again for another reaction on this here Mystelics reaction, guys. With that said, guys, happy Easter goes out to each and every one of you guys out there. Good Friday, you guys. You know, whatever you guys plan, go to the beach. You know, remembering that the Lord came to for you and me. And some of you just rejecting him, all. You know, easy now, boy. A man come to die to save you from your dirty ways, and you still rejected him. That's right. Well, continue now. Continue. But one day you must meet him, eh? Oh, you must meet him, eh? All right, then you don't have to believe me. Don't believe me, Papa. But anyways, guys, what I say right there, of course, hopefully you guys enjoy your Easter if you're going to the beach with your family or you're going to church and whatnot, to remember what the Great One has done for us, you know, and of course, putting your trust in the Most High as well. Anyways, guys, you know what we must not put our trust in? What you're seeing on this here thing right there, guys. Scared say go back to the basics. Now, when he's saying go back to the basics, doesn't necessarily mean he's talking about himself. He might be talking about you. Remember when he was talking about the fridge incident and he said, guys, do not get fridge that have ice maker on it. Don't go and put your money and spend on higher purchase and so forth and so forth. You know, he tell you go back to the containers where you used to put salt and he say, what you doing with that? But of course, in his house, he has all kind of ice maker, juice maker, water maker. He probably even have cloud in his fridge. Who knows? He probably have cloud. iCloud in his fridge where you tap in on the thing and it does thing. You can probably even have internet. He probably have internet on his fridge. When he wants to find out about the weather, he can just who knows, brothers and sisters. But he telling you go back to the icebox. So you have to be mindful of that right there. Of course, this individual, whoever created this, said, as Carrot said, to go back to the basics. And of course, it seems like when he's talking about the basics, he's talking about resetting and actually going back. But of course, there's an interesting thing when it comes down to the airport right there. The amount of money Carrot is willing to spend on the so-called international airport is scary, brothers and sisters. It's scary, frightening. Because you know why? Dominica can actually build free international airports. I've been saying this from time to time, guys. Right now, based on all the things that Scary them have been saying, we should be now trying to build our own space station. Yes, build our own space station in Dominica, the amount of international airport they promise us, brothers and sisters. Now I hear people saying about $1.5 billion going into international airport. This is one of the reasons why I say Scary, it might be washing the money. Because you're trying to understand, but wait a while. But UWP had a previous to the point, brothers and sisters. I actually have that information right there. Remember I tell you about the geotechnical studies that they did? Well, I got the information of everything right there. The geotechnical studies was done by Mr. or Dr. Derek Gay of the University of the West Indies in collaboration with Dr. Morgan of MIT. That's United States, of course, utilizing ground penetration radar GPR. Of course, the UWP was putting the financing package together, already secured with $35 million from the European Union and also from the Republic of China. It's not just Scary always talking about his friends. UWP apparently was securing $52 million from the Republic of China for them to be able to build the airport. Commitments from Cuba and Venezuela to do the earth movement to the tune of approximately $100 million. This, of course, remember when they're talking about $200 million was missing? Well, anyways, we'll continue right there. This was one of it, right there, $100 million in the tune of that right there. Discussions with the Republic of China for additional financial support, including soft loan, was indicating positive results right there to further build the international airport. This is why this is back in November of 1998, 1998, brothers and sisters, 25 years ago. This was being done to secure. Right now we had 1.5 billion. Well, it's alleged we had 1.5 billion dollars for international airport, and we already had the plans were done. Everything was, oh my goodness gracious, help me. The plans and everything was done. It was done. It was just next to do these kind of things, and of course financing to build the airport. But instead they refused to build on that land secured by the United Workers Party for them to do their own thing. This is why people ask this question is vital. The amount of money Scary is willing to spend on the so-called one international airport is scary, And people think that that is just the case. This is why yesterday I told you guys, go and search for the expense of airport, international airport. Go and search for it. I remember seeing one, $325 million. Another one, 200 and something million. I think Antigua, when they expanded their own, was about 98 million or something like that. They expanded their own, and so forth. From my understanding, I could be wrong in that. I think 115 or 98 million. One of them could be. And the most expensive one I remember seeing was somewhere in the east. I think it was 800 and something million. But apparently we're building a bigger international airport than everybody else. We're probably building this space station for true. Because we have $1 billion, and I think another $1 billion had to come into effect. But that is something else, because MMC received $1 billion, then they signed another contract for what? They say they signed the contract for the developer. So if they received the $1 billion, which they were dispersing, well, they say that they were dispersing, because I received knowledge yesterday saying that from a particular individual who called me and he was trying to get Skerritt's number. And he said, Mystelics, these people they mash up my land for them to build the airport, and I received no compensation. So I'm trying to reach them for me to get my compensation. The Kwevedi man land, take it on him, and they don't give him no compensation for that. What about all the other people in Wesley that still don't get money for the land yet? It is scary, brothers and sisters, when this was already done. This was already done. The geotechnical studies was done by Dr. Derek Gay of University of West Indies and Dr. Morgan of I think MIT is Michigan. I could be wrong, but MIT, I forget the thing for it. Utilizing ground penetration radar, they actually did that right there, and of course seeking additional funds for them to build the financing for the airport right there. So no, this is what was happening there, brothers and sisters. This is what was happening there. Well, we are 1.5. Well, I know we're $1 billion, and they said we moved from 1.1 billion to 1.2. Now 1.5 billion. So $500 million in addition to the $1 billion to build an airport. That airport have to be bigger than every airport in the planet. Sir, we're supposed to be flying people from Australia straight to Dominica. Hopefully, is that the planning to do? Because Magwesa, if we build an international airport for $1.5 billion, and you telling me we can't get straight flight from Africa to Dominica, well, we already know what's happening. I'm not saying they're washing clothes, but they might be washing money. Who knows, brothers and sisters? It's interesting, but let us continue right there. It's very hard to bury the truth, even though sometimes the truth, I think that's pop in my head. Sometimes it's very hard to bury the truth, but it is a heck of a thing for the truth to be out there in the open, and people seeing the truth, but they're rejecting the truth because that is not what their people say. There was an official who stated the very sentiment right there. I think it was Ronald Reagan. He said the moment the people lose the faith, or the moment that the people lose true faith in themselves, is the moment that they start believing the government. There's another one that states that the trouble is nearby when the government says that we are here to help. Trouble is nearby when the government says that we are here to help. I think he says that the government is here to help. 6 or 7, however they phrase it, right there. Once the government says these words, you should be very mindful of the government. Some people believe that the government can do no wrong, and you've seen evidence. The truth is in your face, Magwisa, and you refuse to believe it. It's very hard to bury the truth, but when the truth is revealed, it's something else. It will pop right back up, no matter how many feet deep that you bury it right there. But sometimes it's not bury the truth, though. One of the things that I noticed that the government officials or people in charge like to do, they like to say things in your face. They're telling you what they're doing, but you yourself thinking it's so absurd that they're saying these things that you don't really believe what they're saying, but they're telling you in advance, or they're putting it in technical terms to tell you what they're doing, and they go in and do it. sometimes even the movies themselves selling out what is happening, and we checking, oh boy, that's movie, that's not true, but it's actually happening. They made a movie about the very Rona situation that has happened. The exact same thing in the movie was what was happening. Obviously, I think they took it from the Spanish flu thing, but of course, last week, the truth, we're not bearing the truth again, no? The truth in your face. But you don't believe it. You don't believe it. For whatever reason, you don't believe it. That's interesting right there. Anyways, guys, it's interesting to find out. Now, I don't know if this is as a result of Mr. Alwyn Bully, but apparently the Ministry of Health workers have been signing an NDA where they are not able to disclose what happened in the hospital. The other reporter was trying to get info on the hospital, and she said that they told her in the last 48 hours they made them sign an NDA. We are not supposed to disclose what happened. Of course, the information of what was happening with Mr. Alwyn Bully and a number of others. There were doctors and places. I'm not just talking about one particular individual. I'm talking about a plethora of individuals who have came from United States and Canada, come to Dominica to see how the officials are running the hospital, and they wonder if there is nobody holding these people accountable for the things that they are doing. They are wondering that, brothers and sisters. My thing just sting there, so I have to ding it. But anyways, guys, it's a sad state of affairs. No, people cannot even go and find information as to what exactly happened to their family members. Remember about the quarantine situation? Oh, okay. Okay. All right then. Neglect. You know what neglect is? And nobody asking questions. You see, it doesn't hold people. No, guys, don't get me wrong. You know, not all of them are bad. But it seems like the culture in the hospital sometimes is affecting people so much, or the people who are working there so much, that they believe that is the norm. So it's just like the monkey. They did a test on the monkeys. I spoke about this some time back, but let me see if I can make it short. Monkeys were in a zoo area. They put the monkeys in a cage, and they were putting a banana on top of a ladder, and the monkeys were always climbing up the ladder and get the bananas. All of a sudden, they decided to change it up. When monkeys climbed the ladder, they started wetting the monkeys. And when they wet that one monkey, they wet all the other monkeys as well, because that monkey went up. So Peter Pan for Paul, so to speak. Anyways, time goes by. Every time a monkey goes up, they would wet the monkey, and the monkey would come down, and the others know that they were going to get wet, would beat the monkey. So what used to happen, anytime a monkey was going to climb the ladder, the monkeys around would beat the monkey because they don't want to get wet. So they beat the monkey for not going up. So as time goes by, they would changing in, putting new monkeys, changing out, and that culture was happening. So to the point where none of the monkeys who were in the original state were doing exactly the same thing that the original monkeys were doing, because that was the cultural norm. Because that was the cultural norm that they adapted, and they did not even know why they were doing it. They did that. You can search for that on YouTube. You know, you can search for that. There's a lot of things that is happening today. The cultural norms of which we are accepting. Hey, people just neglecting the patients, and not all of them, you know, guys, but some, just like the police. I talk about the police too. Not all police are bad, but some of the police, they are just accustomed here, getting my money. These people doing their thing. I myself, I get my money and my benefits, so let me leave these people alone. When you know that there's wrong, I've spoken to a number of police officers. They know what is happening inside there's wrong, but they will not say anything. You know why? One, because they believe the people are the ones who are supposed to come and do the right thing. The people themselves are in the same state. So you have a set of people in the same state. The police, the nurses, doctors, whoever. The people themselves are in the same state. And you wonder why things doesn't happen. Because of conditioning. This is why I spoke about some time ago. We are in a calm where people are accepting what is happening to them, because that is human conditioning. Human beings are creatures of repetition. So if you constantly bombard it, this is how you brainwash people, you know. You constantly brainwashing them with a word. You're telling them that's not their name. That's not their name. They keep calling you some other name. After a number of years, if you listen to how the documentaries on how they used to brainwash soldiers that went to war, and the soldiers would come back into the country pretending as if they are nothing, and they would go and attack their citizens because, ooh, I'm going too far. Anyways, brothers and sisters, it's Easter. So apparently there's some sort of concert that is going to be happening today. I know if you guys remember the individual in St. Joseph who was apparently attacked in his shop, and of course, you know, they're having some sort of fundraiser, praise and thanksgiving on his behalf. and these are that happens today. Venue, the Greater Cornerstone Baptist Church in St. Joseph. So there are a few sponsors right there, and if you want to come and help and contribute towards them, praise and thanks. From the last thing that I heard, I saw him, the video of him being flown out. Heard that he's, you know, recuperating, so to speak, and of course they're asking for more fundraising, for a fundraising event to try to further help him. Maybe, you know, things like this are not cheap. Some man just coming in and decide to do you harm, and you yourself have to raise the money for yourself for you to get better while he sits in jail. They should put him to work for you to make money too for what he has done. I don't understand it. The jail thing is always an interesting thing for me. You do wrong to somebody, yet still they put you inside a cell and the people have to feed you. That's how you would work. That's why I can't run. I can't run the country. You crazy? You do harm to a man. The man family now has to come and do all kind of things to try to raise funds so that he can get better for what you cause him. And matter of fact, it's not mistake, you know, what you willfully caused him. Or you sit down in jail eating pork and rice. Gasa, you would have worked from morning to night time. You will sleep when you wake up back to work. And you would work for you to feed yourself and for you to give the family money for what you've done. If it's me, Mezami. Anyways, brothers and sisters, so this is happening tonight actually at the Greater Cornerstone Baptist Church in St. Joseph. On the highway, the St. Joseph Highway. I guess that's a church by the highway. And of course, they're gonna have a number of individuals there in that regard. Now guys, let's move on to another situation that has happened. And of course, SUKIE is back in the building again. Now I have a number of things to say on this, so let's just make this video run. SUKIE actually made a post, hopefully that cost word inside there.
Wow, baby, it's all boy SUKIE Bunbel. I mean, the partner you tongue there, Timal, or whatever that is your name. You see me on the liquor, I drink and thing. A polygram old me. You have to be posting that and talking about all them people that managing SUKIE, don't checking SUKIE. But if I have burn you, boy, or you mustn't do them kind of thing, boy. You always have your Timal. You never go bad dope. I never see you bad dope. She meant pay nowhere. Timal.
Okay, so this is the video that he's talking about. Timal, that is Timal right there. Respect Timal right there. SUKIE needs rehab. Whoever, and I've said this before, whoever is giving SUKIE the alcohol that he's drinking there and whatnot, knowing that he has an issue with that, look at that. That looking like somebody that doesn't need help, brothers and sisters, huh? That looking like somebody that doesn't need help, somebody who has been called to go and perform in a number of places, most likely making a number of monies, maybe the manager making most of it, I don't know. But you are right there. And somebody is saying, hey, lads, why they don't help you? And I agree with that statement. This is a statement he was recording right there. I agree with that statement.
Making money from SUKIE there. What all you know SUKIE for? Just to make money from the man. Use the man and make money from the man. All you don't care about the man being.
Does that look like they care? Huh? The managers or whoever didn't see SUKIE and say, SUKIE, where you at? Or what's going on? They don't see SUKIE for a number of hours or something. And maybe SUKIE go and look at the man there.
Wake up. Wake up there. What are you doing there? Listen, what are you doing there, Timal? What are you doing there? Wake up there, boy.
And SUKIE coming to defend the very people that apparently it doesn't look like they care about you. SUKIE, come on.
I mean, the partner you tongue there, Timal, or whatever that is your name. You see me on the liquor, I drink and thing. A polygram old me. You have to be posting that and talking about all them people that managing SUKIE, don't checking SUKIE.
But SUKIE, let me tell you something now. The people who are recording, you see, he had his phone. There's somebody else recording you. The person that we are seeing right now was recording you, but there's somebody recording both of all you. So at least this man at least shows some concern. Instead of just recording you and going, he tried to get you up, and he did make you get up. He didn't leave you there. And the best people you decide to attack is the man. Yes, he was recording. I understand this kind of vibes there. Yes, but you're not supposed to be in that state. Furthermore, I see the video, that video there. I know it's not you that recorded, so who tell you to do that? That's my question here. Because this is not still a still video. Not you put your phone on thing and then you recording yourself and thing. So my question is, who told you to make that statement? Look at the camera sheet.
Wow, baby. It's all boy SUKIE Bunbel. I mean, the partner new tongue there, Timal, or whatever that is your name. You see me on the little high drink and thing.
My brother, you're not supposed to be on a high drink, my brother. You trying to come out from a state that you was in back then. You are back in it again. Seem like the only person that tried to get you out of the stupor that you was in was Timal. Timal that make you get up, and you lambis. yeah. Boy.
A holy grumble me. You have to be posting that and talking about all them people that managing SUKIE, don't checking SUKIE.
But he's right. You're not supposed to be in that situation, father. How you not seen that then? How you not seen that? You lie down with your pants out, your pants down. Hopefully they don't do you nothing. And there's water there. Maybe you had a bottle or something. Maybe you pee. What can I say? Boy.
Boy, fire burn you, boy.
And you born in the man that wake you up from the stupor that you was in. You born in the man that wake you up instead of leaving you there or recording you and leaving you there. He wake you up. And you look, that's what you telling the man.
Boy, fire burn you, boy.
Boy, all you good in that place that way, boy. All you good in that place that way. You have an issue you should be getting help for. Why aren't your managers them trying to help you? Trying to put you in the necessary thing. There are people from stage reaching out to try to help you and you end up in a situation in Grenada. Why aren't they trying to help you? Don't get me wrong. I saw the video. Hey, do what you have to do. But you talking about house and the very person who most likely make you reach that state. This is how he is. Come on. Come on, man.
You always have your Timal. You never go back dope. I never see you back dope. She meant pay nowhere.
Doesn't matter if the man want to say what he want. He can say chicken noodles if he want. If you want to say chicken noodles, he can say chicken noodles. You have to go out for him to say Timal. Timal, rock your scene, eh? Big up to Timal for at least trying his best. When it seems or appeared to have seemed that the other people who are apparently associated with you abandon you, and not a man to come and shield and say, oh no. You come on, man, SUKIE. Come on. This is the prison, guys, and apparently there's a goat on top there. Ask me how the goat reach on top there. The goat can fly, maybe a flying goat. Maybe it's a flying goat. Or a SUKIE on top there and it changed into a goat. Well, the state prison are there, brothers and sisters. You can see the ballistas there. A goat reach on top there. Ask me how the goat reach on top there. I don't know. But you'll have to ask the goat. And it seems like the goat strong. It burst the rope that was tied to and end up flying on top. Hey, guys, that was something rather interesting right there. I've seen a number of containers around the place, and they seem to be bringing containers and what have you. Brothers and sisters, what if we could use the containers? You know, instead of spending all the millions of dollars out there, what if we could bring down containers and then transform them, you know, into things like this? Don't you think that'd be a wonderful thing? This is the same thing that ain't nobody with, guys. I've seen a number of these things in America transformed, and I think a friend of mine who was in Dominica, when he was trying to build himself, he got a container. And he built a house. He made a house in it, in the Zika region. You can actually do something like this. It's much cheaper to do so. Build your container, design it properly inside and outside to make sure that you protect it and it doesn't rot or rust. And you're good to go. This is what it has done, you know, brothers and sisters. This is what it has done. You do some welding and everything like that. Join them together, make upstairs and downstairs, kitchen, cellar. And you're good to go, brothers and sisters. Why don't we do something like this? And then use the monies You see, we thinking backward and use the monies that we spending all. Well, then again, hopefully it's not washing the money in the housing scheme. But hopefully they could do something like this: buy a few containers, bring it down, and organize. Not true. You don't think we have the power to do this? Where man can say I have an upstairs and downstairs house. Yeah, man. Upstairs and downstairs house. Sometimes some people going in debt. That's one of the things that I learned in the United States. They have mini houses, and some of these houses are built from containers. You know what they do? Some individuals build a mini house and they save up their money to buy their house brand new. So they stay in these mini houses. They don't have to pay much. What you pay about $5,000, $5,000 maximum. I've heard that some of these houses cost, especially if you bring in somebody else who help build it for you. And they have this thing, 1-2 containers, make it upstairs and downstairs, and they good to go. Some of them have you guys can search for this thing for yourself, you know. And why don't we do something like this, huh? Why don't we do something like this? Take the containers and make something like this. It seems like for this one they use a little additional stuff. But this is a modern house. This is a modernized house. So instead of going into debt, we can use containers. This is what one of my friends did. Use a container, build his house, make his house inside there, and elevated himself, and then left. So we can do these things, don't you think so? But you might say, boy, I don't want to build a house or container, boy. Let me go in the bank and take a loan. Let me go in the bank and take a loan, eh? Alright, Papa. Well, if you want to do that, all the best. Anyways, brothers and sisters, somebody said this very thing right there. I thought it was rather interesting. Did I hear a car dealer said that they only sold about 6 vehicles for a year? Not even for a month, but a whole year? Dominica, not only on life support, you know, but it is drawing its last breath, basically. I tell you, we hit rock bottom. Knowing we hit rock bottom. And you think you guys will reach rock bottom. Let's see if we can climb back up. No, at least we see how far we can go. Rock bottom. No. We want to dig the ground to see if we can go lower. This is what the person was saying right there.
Matt, let me tell you what the IMF is highlighting, what they're showing as the growth of 4 to 5% they're projecting and predicting for Dominica. You know what's the result of their projection? That 38,000 vehicles, used vehicles, have been privately imported into Dominica in the last 20 years.
Which means that people in Dominica can't even afford the vehicles in Dominica. So they have to buy vehicles overseas and they still have to pay high duties, and it still comes up what? Much cheaper than buying vehicles in Dominica. 30,000 vehicles. Dominica population is allegedly 70,000. I think it's about 40,000. But you know, not 40, about 50, 55,000. Because the amount of people who are going, and people are constantly going. Some people of mine left already. They went, they organized themselves, and they're not coming back. They're not coming back. They say, who that? Who coming back, Dominica? Who you watching there? I say, so you know, come back and build your country. They say, which country? The country build me? That's what somebody was saying. Anyways, let me continue.
That the maximum anyone can get for their apartment, clients calling in, they're saying, Peter, all I can pay is $500. We can't pay the loan on that.
Well, it depends on the kind of loan that you have. If you're talking about a big building and you have a mortgage of probably $1.5 million to pay back, and of your loan is probably like $6,000. Your mortgage is probably like $6,000, and you have like a thing. You also have to leave as well. So if you have a few tenants, let's say you have about 5 tenants, that's about $2,500. You still kind of meet your obligation to pay your loan, which is about $6,000 on your $1.5 million loan, and of course that include interest. Now, I was going to say something about the interest and how the banking system works and all those kind of things, but let me leave that alone here, because I just talk and somehow you don't know what I say. Only know what I say. I know it had to be broken down to me too. I had to tell, hey, what all your people, break that down in layman terms for me, please. But anyways, let me continue because we don't have much time.
To the banks. Is that what the IMF is using as a yardstick for projection on the growth of of the island.
Could be. Could be.
What about a number of business places who are only occupied by the Chinese because the locals cannot afford them?
No, guys, sometimes you might be wondering if the Chinese are rich and they come from China with a lot of money and coming to Dominica. No, guys, sometimes, most times, I've been told this from a number of Chinese in Dominica and the United States as well. I have a friend of mine who they are making a lot of money through their restaurants and stuff. And anyways, so the Chinese government are the ones who print the money, send the money for them to buy property in different places so they can own this. And then when they make the profits and whatnot, they send back a portion to China. And that's how China, of course, gets a number of money to come from all over the world to go back into things. So they send the people out all over the place. They build businesses and all kind of things. And then money come into that business, and then the profit margins, whatever, gets sent back. Although sometimes some of them, well, I think in the initial stages, some of them then expand their business outside of just whatever the government give them. So when they make enough after a number of years and a lot of years, because on the basis of them getting paid from this, it seems to be very minimal. So they have to do some extreme type of savings. This is why some of them, you see them eating noodles alone. So that's part of the culture of China, and they break away and they elevate themselves. They have this store and they send back and those kind of things there, and they branch out in different places as well for them to be able to, you know, do different things. So that is one of the reasons why you might say, well, Chinese are plenty. No, a lot of them don't have money. They just send them overseas, and the Chinese government send money for them to be able to buy places and this kind of things there so they can make money to send back to China. Just letting you guys know that. Okay? All right.
Because prices have skyrocketed. Pricing, the cost of living has skyrocketed.
And keep in mind, guys, it doesn't matter if sky goes up, China just have to print money. Just print. And then they convert it to US. They don't care how much it is. All they do is print. And money out of thin air. And that's how they create debt traps and this kind of things there. Anyways, there's another story right here.
Inflation has hit us. We all suffering. We all feeling the heat. We sold 6
bus drivers don't feel the heat, eh? But okay, just say it.
6 vehicles last year. I mean, the automobile business took over from my dad with my family.
6.
From 1993 when he passed away. Matt, 6 vehicles we sold last year. Well, other companies are selling 6 vehicles every day, Matt. Good for them. God bless. You know how they're selling those vehicles, Matt? On hire purchase.
You can afford the full thing. Sometimes you cannot go and say, let me go and get a loan, or you go and get a loan by that person. You have a high interest to pay to go and get a loan. So best way to do it is on hire purchase. If you sign whatever you have to sign, if you are not able to pay, they take back the vehicle. You lose all the money you give in the vehicle. They make the extra interest, so depending on how long you have to pay back the vehicle. I mean, it's a smart thing for people to actually get vehicles. You know, if you're gonna take a long time, 6 months to come to Dominica, all those kind of things there, you buy a vehicle, you buy it on hire purchase, you say, okay, you know what, I'll try my best in an economy that is not conducive. That is something else. I just thinking about you right? That's something else, boy. Anyways, I get too long. Let's go.
That's how they're selling them. Or is it that our local people I was born with and grew up with would not want to do business with us? We're limping, Matt, in the car business. We have 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Pass there any day and you'll see how empty it is. They don't want to change their engine oil. They don't want to service their vehicles.
Well, sometimes people have learned the art of changing their engine oils instead of bringing it and paying how much hundreds of dollars just to do the very thing that you can do yourself. It's good to learn these skills yourself. So instead of bringing it to the companies to do that, you learn it yourself and you think it. One of my friends, she's a girl. She don't depend on no man to do things and whatnot. She changing her oil, she doing her thing. She good to go. Well, that's how she used to do it back in the day. Now she have a set of money, so she just bring it for those people to do. But back in the day when she was elevating and thing in the United States, she learned to change her oil, she learned to change her tire and everything like that, and she good to go. So some people learn these things for them to be able to save some money, you know, especially when they don't have money to just freely give on things that they can actually do. So I would urge everybody to learn how to do certain things, that you can actually do, instead of just bringing it and say, okay, look,
Matt, that's what's driving the economy. That's what the IMF is seeing as the yardstick. That 38,000 vehicles came in privately imported, every single one by the owners in the last 22 years. And you must find out the statistics, Matt. I am prepared to bet almost 30,000 got duty free. The PM with his big hat, he knows the duties are too expensive.
He knows that. He also knows he wants to maintain his supporters, so any way, shape and form he can, he will do that. It's always a mind thing. They realize it's probably your money that they're using to do that for you.
Too high at 147.5%. He's removing.
We'd say that again.
7.5%. Knows the duties are too expensive, too high at 147.5%.
So if you buy a vehicle for $10,000, you have to pay $14,700. You buy a vehicle $10,000, guys, mark you. That is just, you have to pay the vehicle again. You buy the vehicle for $10,000. You then have to pay $14,000 in duty. So in total, you end up paying $24,700 for $24,700. And sometimes they re-evaluating the vehicle. One of the people I know brought a vehicle. His family gave him a vehicle. I think the vehicle cost like $1,000 something. His family gave it to him and whatnot. He showed them everything. They value the engine of the vehicle, put their own price on it, and then put the percentage. He say, well, send it back. He say, well, send it back. Hey, I don't know what happened as a result of that, but that's what he told me. He tell them, well, send it back, because he got that kind of money.
He's removing the 47.5%, but they're still paying the 100% import duty, Matt. He knows the import duties are too high. That's what the IMF must tell him, to amend and adjust the import duties. Because 90% of the vehicles on the road are all duty-free. That's how they could afford it.
True. And you think, hey, and they will come and say, guys, you don't see how much vehicles are out there? How much vehicles are out there? And you want to say Dominica, but you don't know how those vehicles end up there? Someone have to fake that they are farmers to get farmer vehicles. Faking. Hey, boy, people are easy though. Well, you have to do what you have to do, and especially in the economy that they have killed. They are the ones killing it, nobody else. The people in charge are doing that.
If he had refused to give the duty free, there would be almost 20,000 vehicles less on the roads. That's what to tell the IMF. Tell them, that's what to tell them, coming from a car dealer.
Interesting stuff. And I'm sure that a number of people actually like to go when they are at the Red Clinic or financial center, whatever, to get a check for them to clear their vehicles. I've heard a number of stories like that, So, what are your thoughts, guys? What are your thoughts on the situation, especially in the number of things that I spoke about here today? I'm gonna be off, brothers and sisters. I'm gonna be back probably Monday. It depends on the kind of stuff. If it's anything major or whatnot, I will come back over the weekend. So if you want to get that vibrations, if you've not done so, subscribe and turn on that post notifications so you can get the videos as they tend to come through, guys. And of course, give this video a thumbs up. I would appreciate that. Click the thumbs up button right there, and then I'll see you guys in the next reaction video, guys. Remember, happy Easter, and remember to behave yourself. Stop your dirty ways, man. Go to church and reflect on what the Most has done for you. And with that said, guys, boom, bang.